So I'm trading the chart setup in yesterday's video. It's about to be London pre-market. Just got into a little short when this ADX divergence appeared. We had point of control drawn up into this wick. Just looking for a little retest of the 20 SMA. Got in a little baby scalp there. We were red on the cumulative delta on the 5-minute. I just grabbed another little short. I added the ADX outlines to the chart. Dark red for bearish and dark green for bullish. I was just noticing we had all this divergence building up on the 5-minute NQ and a bunch more on the 5-minute ES. ES delta was dropping off. We got this big bearish candle close below the 20. We had a little bit of a pullback, but it ended up dropping down and hitting my target. I'm just going for targets based on the recent price action. We've been in a very tight range, so I've just been going for a couple points. Things will probably pick up now that we're in London pre-market. It's 2:01. I just logged in for a little bit of the early afternoon session here. It's almost 1 o'clock. I added a King Renko chart last night with this same 1-minute setup. I just took a short. We had some cumulative delta divergence appearing. Higher time frame NQ was red across the board, and I had some bearish ADX coming in live in real time on the 5-minute. Noticed this big move down on the 60-minute chart earlier this morning, and we've had a little pullback. So I got in short, looking to retest the pivot. Got my take profit of 4 or 5 points there. I'm trading in between the key levels. I'm looking for delta, looking for momentum. I want my take profit path to be free and clear of any support and resistance, whether it's key levels or moving averages or any other kind of support and resistance. The King Renko settings I've got, brick size of 40, trend threshold of 20, just some numbers I'm playing around with because I often like to go for 10 and 5-point targets. So 40 ticks is 10 points and 20 ticks is 10 points. I figured I'd play around in a measurement that is relevant to my own personal trading. I got into another short. See these red outlines of these candles? 4 red outlines in a row. That's the ADX being bearish. Got into a short looking for a retest of the pivot point. It popped down over 10 points there. Also had point of control drawn up into the wick on this 5-minute candle. We've had nothing but bearish ADX on the NQ and the ES for the past half hour or so. On the 5-minute candles, the ADX is represented by the black insides of the candles. I took a bad trade a little bit ago, and I was red in the accounts about 50 bucks. So I just clawed back in the green. Let's see what happened here. I got short here after this triple divergence, and then I'm definitely trading the funded account a little bit different. On an eval, I would have added in a VWAP. I had a short bias based on this huge 60-minute red candle. But since it's the PA account, I hopped out, and I thought I'd just get back in when it came up to VWAP. We didn't quite make it to VWAP, made it to around the 50 area. Started getting some double divergence here. Point of control up into the wick here. Had the delta outline turning red on the 5-minute. Point of control still up in the wick. We had divergence building up on the ES as well. Everything was turning bearish. Closed back below the 20. Got into another short. My original target was actually 95.50. It would have hit it. So I did not need to take that previous loss. I just wanted to be extra careful. But yeah, I'd be up a bunch more if I just would have stayed in the trade. But with the PA accounts, I'm trying to cut my losses quicker. I'm not giving them as much room. Grabbed another short here. Cumulative delta background was red. Once we started closing below the 250, I was looking for a retest of the pivot point. That's where I had my target. We get the retest. Started getting some divergence building up. We just bounced up off of this previous day VWAP close back up to the 20 and the 250. Just grabbed another short. We had this red delta outline closing below the pivot point. I was looking for it to test the next key level, which is this previous day VWAP close. Got a 5-point scalp in there. I think I might switch this chart back to being just like the 5-minute charts. It's easier to be looking at the same kind of thing on each chart. All right, back to normal. So now this 1-minute chart is matching up the same theme as the 5-minute charts. I think I might get rid of this ADX divergence, these white triangles. They seem to fire off a little bit too much for my liking. Alright, now I got the King Renko changed over as well. I took all the key levels and moving averages off of the King Renko chart. Just want to see the basic candle action. So you got all this divergence building up on the King Renko. Then we had some bullish ADX. Get a nice little pop up there. With the King Renkos and also with the MMT Delta bars, definitely looking more for when point of control is up into the wicks. If it's up in the top wicks, I'm looking for a potential move down. If it's in the bottom wicks, looking for a potential move up. Just grabbed another short. We had this big full body candle to the downside here. We pulled back a little bit. I got short at the 50 level. We just dropped down about 20 points. We were bearish on the ADX, on the King Renko charts, and still bearish on the higher time frame 5 minutes across the board. Started getting some divergence building up on the King Renko. We got this little tiny body candle with the big wick, point of control drawn down into the wick. We broke higher there, popped up 10 points after the break. We just had some triple divergence on the King Renko and some bullish ADX. Get a nice pop up here. Had some bullish ADX back here on the 1 minute chart too. And also bullish ADX on the 5 minute charts. We're getting a little pushback up here. So if you want to learn how to set up your charts like this, there's a video link in the description that shows all of the detailed settings and everything you need to know to get your chart set up like this. I just grabbed another short. We had some bearish ADX on this candle. The cumulative delta outline is red. Point of control drawn up into this wick. Looking to retest the 20. We just pulled back to the 20 SMA, this white dashed line. Still bearish on the 5 minute with the moving average background and this cumulative delta outline. We also had point of control a little bit up into the wick here on the 5 minute chart. I think I'm going to call it a day here, up about $100 per account. There are links to all the indicators in the description. If you have any questions, please leave a comment below. Anyone that's out there using code MonkeyMan, you know you're the best. Thanks so much for the support. Thanks so much for tuning in. Best of luck in your trading. Have a great day.